Hello, welcome to Conversations on Prophetic Ministry, and today we're going to talk about how do we recover from spiritual abuse. Yeah. And this is for prophetic people.
It is.
Okay, so if you're prophetic and you're being spiritually abused, this is for you.
Okay.
So how do you recover from spiritual abuse?
Okay, I'm happy to dive in onto that. I wondered if we needed to define what spiritual abuse was first.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to be clear, I mean, this is actually a huge subject, isn't it? Really. I think I think if you're prophetic, to some measure, you've known spiritual abuse. I guess for me, it's about control and manipulation. You're feeling constrained at one end. You may be being bullied emotionally or mentally, and your mental health is in danger because of that. You may be being frozen out or cut out, these sorts of things. Tends to happen over a period of time, although a specific event could kick it off. But you'll feel you being controlled, i.e. there are limits on your life, or you're being manipulated to do things, or not. You're being manipulated to do things you don't want to do, or you're being manipulated not to do the things that you do want to do. Sounds a bit easy, doesn't sound major, but this can be incredibly painful, because if you've got a prophetic gift and you're wanting to move in that and you're not able to do the thing that you were made for, over a period of time, that can be really emotionally damaging. And I don't want to use the current phrase, not good for your mental health, but actually that means a lot. That actually means a lot. You could be, in extreme versions, you could be living in fear of what the church leadership might say. So, Does that give it a bit of a flavour?
Yeah, it does. I think so. Prophetic people, you're going to rub up against.
Yes.
Against
that. Just par for the course, I think, because controlling spirits are the main way.
And that's the thing. So basically, it's a spiritual warfare issue.
It is. Sorry. Yes, it is.
So
absolutely.
You're dealing with religious spirits.
Yes.
Legalistic spirits.
Yes.
Controlling, manipulative Jezebel spirits.
Yeah.
You're dealing with all these, church spirits, but in operation.
Yeah.
In leaders, pastors, and Christians within churches, and it's all satanic because it will seek to mute the voice of God,
absolutely,
destroy you, shut you down, and kill you. The objective of spiritual abuse is spiritual death.
Yeah.
Is to kill that anointing in you.
Absolutely.
To kill that gifting within you.
It's trying to bring you to a place where you give up trying, because Jesus won us the victory. The only way the enemy can't stop us doing what we need to do. He can limit us, but if he gets us to the place where we're so discouraged, we go, I can't do this anymore. No. But then that is the battle over.
But the prophetic wouldn't function in that environment of control in any case.
No, I think one of my concerns here, which is why we're diving in straight away, is many people think that their situation is unusual. It would probably shock them all if I said that probably 95% of the people we're looking at, I mean, there is the 5% in a godly, charismatic, lively environment, but even they are going to feel limitations. But the vast majority of people we're listening to are going, is it just me? I mean, my very first point's going to be how to recover spiritual abuse is to go, it's not my fault. But they probably think it is on that sort of... Sorry, I talked over you then.
No. I mean, I've been thinking about all the prophets in the Bible.
Yeah.
And so just before you turned up, I was reading Jeremiah.
Okay.
And he had it harsh.
They all had it rough.
Up.
Yeah.
It's all sorts of attacks that came on him. Manipulation. You can't prophesy this. You can't prophesy that. I don't like it. You prophesy this. That's about control.
Yeah.
It's manipulation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you think, well, my situation is unique, well, just read all the prophets in the Bible. Yeah. It's part of the course. It's part of the prophetic journey. And people think, well, being prophetic means you stand up in the front and you give some cool prophetic word, and everyone goes, wow, really brilliant. Yeah. But actually, that's probably about 3%, 5%?
Yes.
Of what it means to be prophetic.
And 1% of those fall in sin in time, which is going to be my next blog coming out. So
so how do you recover from it?
How do you recover from it? Okay, that's good timing, that is. How do you I think for me, the first thing I want to push into, and this is huge, I think often take medical situations. A lot of people would say that emotionally, once they know what's wrong with them, Okay, that isn't the solution, but that's half the problem. And I think for prophetic people who think that because it's coming through what you said, a church environment, through church leaders, through people who are leading people they respect, they assume that they're the ones who are doing wrong, so it's their fault.
Okay.
That's a very short phrase, and I will finish there, but that is huge. You've got to emotionally go, it's not my fault, because you've been told all along, that's part of the bullying, that it is your fault. One of the reasons why people, and it's nothing to do with what we're talking about necessarily, but sexual abuse is out there. And one of the things that the news media is trying to get across to people is they get manipulated to the place where they think it's their fault, so they don't talk to anybody.
Right.
And so the enemy getting you to think it's your fault is a huge. So the first thing in recovering spiritual abuse is to go along a journey of, it wasn't my fault. This is being done to me. This is ungodly. This isn't right. Over to you for number 2, maybe.
Okay, so how to recover from spiritual abuse?
Yes.
Taking the fact that we move yourself out of that environment.
Okay, no, that's
important.
Yeah.
You know, why stay in an environment which abuses you?
Yeah.
That's like self-destructive, that's suicidal.
Yes.
Get out.
Okay. No.
So anyway, so that's
again, that's another one that's easy and hard, because you've got all of them. The enemy's going to go to you. Have you got permission to leave the church? And
they get themselves off.
Yeah. Well, I had somebody come to me and say, have you got permission to stay? Which I think is an interesting one to break this. But there's this mindset of, I'm in the wrong, so I shouldn't be leaving, but I'm with you. Get out of it.
Well, no, it's not a cult.
Yeah.
You're not controlled by some all-powerful leader.
But they feel they are, don't they? If you're being
that's because it's demonic.
Yes.
That's because it's demonic.
Yeah.
So why subject yourself to a demonic environment? Get out of a demonic environment.
Yeah.
It's a control. It's witchcraft. Witchcraft is about control. So you're being controlled.
Okay.
So anyway, so my other point would be, if you have been subjected to all this abuse, spiritual abuse, manipulation, control, how to recover from that? I would say, well, I think you need prayer and to break off all that stuff.
Okay, this is on top of leaving the situation.
Okay. So this is
I need to not soften what you're saying, but unpack it a bit.
Yes.
You see, because it's 50% of the time it's coming down a church leader, and us saying this is witchcraft is not going to compute in people's mind, because my church leader can't possibly be moving in witchcraft.
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
magic.
But it is witchcraft. It is referred to. Control is referred to as witchcraft. But I'm just saying they won't receive that, and they need to hear it. It is.
Okay.
If it isn't of God, it is sin, and control is specifically one of the sins that's referred to as witchcraft, and it can come through a church leader. Doesn't mean they're a witch or bad. It just means that sort of behaviour is out of order. So, and the second one is you'll need prayer. So we're talking in the healing prayer type of stuff.
Healing, even deliverance. I mean, if you've been subjected by years of spiritual abuse, and you've been crushed, and there's loads of stuff put on you, and you're half functioning, you're almost like crippled in the prophetic because of the leadership that you've been subjected to. It's going to affect you. And so your emotions are going to be affected. So basically, you've been subjected to witchcraft. You've been subjected to like curses. Basically, then it's like we need to break it off you. Free you from that, and freedom of Jesus comes in. So it's deliverance.
Okay. Let's unpack that a little bit, friends, because Mark's hitting some huge points here that are just so really important. Underneath that, let's assume that you're recognising that what's being done to you over a period of time isn't right, and that it is harming you. Hear us saying to you, you have no idea what harm it's doing to you until you come out. I meet too many people who come out from under spiritual abuse and go, I had no idea the impact. You probably think that it's diminishing you by 10%. It could be diminishing you by at least 60%. It's that. So the term deliverance actually is really important in this situation. So you've got to be brave enough that if this situation doesn't change, you've got to get out of it for your own safety. I mean, I personally have a rule that if it's going to harm my health, and I bet it is harming your health if you're under spiritual abuse, if it's going to harm your marriage or it's going to harm your salvation, and it is doing your relationship with the Lord Jesus really harm, you need to get out. You can always go back, but people stay on. Christians stay on too long till the damage is quite dangerous. Then you need this prayer, and then you need deliverance. It needs breaking off. Let me, for my third one, let me take you back. It all started many, many years ago when I held my first meeting in Jersey. And a number of churches got together and we had a come to a meeting to see if you're interested in the prophetic. Okay. And they packed the place out and we'd have overflowed onto the streets. There was just that interest. Okay. And I'm an innocent, immature, inexperienced ministry. And in my introduction, I just naturally said, of course, we've all been broken at some point in our lives. And the tears just broke out across the room. And it taught me from then on, as I carried on my journey, that prophetic people have been broken, which is usually the result of abuse. So what is a symptom is you're broken. You're not confident in yourself. You lack your faith. You expect failure to happen. You don't think other people love you. And as often what abused people do is they desperately try to comply to fit in when it only makes it worse. Right. So all three things of those... sorry to go all theology. I'm going to go theology on you.
Oh, good.
They hit your sonship. You're suddenly not a person. Let me take you to the opening scene of The Sound of Music, where Mary Poppins' actor goes onto the top of a hill on a beautifully sunny day overlooking a vast valley of trees and bursts into song. That is the opposite of what it feels like to be abused. Abused is living in the darkness, in the cold, not knowing where you're going and feeling forgotten. Okay. It hits your sonship. And that scenario is what it's meant to be like in the love of God. And in some churches, I'm not being unkind here. There are books on Christian shelves called Toxic Churches. And that's where it's not the church; it tends to be the leader. Yeah. It undermines the gospel in your life.
Yeah. I've never seen Sound of Music. I don't like musicals.
Okay. Well, I know. Listen to the first 5 minutes, and that's what being saved by the Lord Jesus and set free is meant to look like.
I think need deliverance. What's the first 5 minutes? I think it's all a spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
Issue. So it's all about control,
spiritual warfare.
Manipulation.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's designed to, but in that environment, it's not just prophetic people that would be suffering.
Yes.
It'd be loads of people.
Yes, but the prophetic people will
pick it up. You better pick up more, and they will suffer more.
Yeah,
but you can't operate under that environment. That will kill you.
Yeah, but
anyone.
You're going back to Jezebel. Her initial stage was to wipe out God's prophets.
Yes.
So while eventually it hits everybody, the first time, these people you guys are going to wake up to the fact that on your back is a target. There is a dartboard target on your back if you're prophetic, and you need to understand that. And he's trying to hunt you down and shut you down, because in a controlled environment you cannot have the voice of God. Period.
You can't stay in that environment. You've got to get out.
No, yes, that's right. Yeah. If it doesn't change, you've got to make.
I would change it not regardless.
Okay.
I'd get out.
Fine.
Why subject yourself to an environment that it's wrong. Most churches don't even exist. Yeah. To be honest,
while I'm uncomfortable with that, I think it is good advice. Hear me. I think it's good advice, because sometimes, a lot of the time, I find abused people, prophetically abused people, are so damaged they can't think straight. Right. And actually, just getting up back in my illustration in the train, pulling the stop cord and getting off is the only way you can actually begin to realise what a terrible situation. If you're wrong, you can always go back. You can always go back. But if you don't get out, you'll never know.
Okay, fine. Well, there you are. I would say get out and get deliverance. I have broken off you. Mark is a bit more
pastoral. But please, I hope I'm making it as serious an issue. And if you're out there thinking I'm the only one, it is a lie. You're in the vast majority.
Yeah.
Deal with it, please. We probably could go back at this one again later on at another time. Thank you.
Thank you.